Say it ain't so, y'all. GloRilla, the same Memphis rap queen who had the entire internet screaming FN at the top of their lungs just a year ago, has officially been sentenced. And this time, it's not for publicity, not a rumor, and definitely not a drill. Multiple insider sources have just confirmed the viral speculation that's been brewing for months. GloRilla is facing time, real time, and her final court. Appearance ended with tears, a gasp in the courtroom, and a goodbye so raw. Even the judge reportedly paused. This ain't your regular rapper got arrested story. This is bigger, deeper, and way more devastating. We're talking charges that go back over a year, betrayal from someone in her own circle, and a final statement from GloRilla herself that left the courtroom, and the entire hip-hop community stunned. And just when fans thought she was untouchable with festival headlines, chart toppers, and mainstream glow-ups, this moment has slammed the brakes on it all. GloRilla's story just flipped from rising star to tragic, cautionary tale. Was it sabotage, a setup, or did fame come at a cost she couldn't escape? Let's take it all the way back to how this shocking downfall began. Before the handcuffs, before the courtroom silence, before the hashtags. Turn from hashtag GlowUp Season 2, hashtag Free GloRilla. There was a girl named Gloria Woods who beat every odd. Memphis threw at her. GloRilla's rise wasn't just quick, it was explosive. From the moment she dropped FNF, let's go, the world knew she was different. The voice, gritty. The energy, electric. The bars, bold, raw, and real. She became the voice of a new kind of freedom, wild, unapologetic, and black girl loud. But beneath that globe, something dark was brewing. See, what most fans didn't know was that before the viral success, before she was rapping on TV and getting cosigns from Cardi B and Yo Gotti, GloRilla was dealing with real-life legal drama behind the scenes. Drama that never made it to the blogs. It all traces back to late 2022, when GloRilla was still adjusting to fame. According to court documents and insider whispers, her name allegedly got tied to a federal investigation after an incident involving a shooting outside a private party in South Memphis. Now, mind you, GloRilla was not the shooter. She wasn't even arrested at the scene. But what made things sticky? The party was reportedly hosted by her entourage, and surveillance footage placed her SUV at the location just moments before the incident. That alone wouldn't have been enough to drag her down, but there's more. Authorities claim the car was rented under her name. And while she publicly distanced herself from the situation, saying she had no knowledge and that the vehicle was used without her permission, prosecutors painted a different story. According to leaked audio from an alleged witness testimony, GloRilla was aware of the rising tensions at the event and was allegedly warned by her team to pull out before things escalated. The feds latched onto that as proof of prior knowledge, and boom, the charges started forming like a storm cloud over her career. At first, Glo tried to keep it moving. She booked tours. She went viral on TikTok. She even hit the bet stage, like nothing was wrong. But those close to her say she was changing. Her energy off stage, nervous, defensive, avoidant. Insiders say she would break down backstage, especially when asked about her hometown or anything legal related. And here's where it got even messier. In early 2023, her longtime friend and rumored former manager, known in the Memphis streets as Big Tino, was arrested on unrelated charges. But during interrogation, Tino reportedly gave up several names. And according to an unsealed affidavit, Glo's name came up as someone who allegedly provided material support to a group under surveillance by the ATF. That phrase, material support, would become the undoing of everything. The minute her name was added to the feds' radar, things went from rumors to real consequences. Bank accounts were flagged. Assets were frozen. Her team was questioned. Even a show in Houston was mysteriously canceled last minute with security concerns cited, but fans suspected it had more to do with her pending legal heat. GloRilla tried to play it cool. She dropped more music. She posted funny TikToks. She laughed it off on IG Live. But the truth was, the case was building, and when the grand jury indictment dropped in late 2023, the headlines hit hard. Memphis rapper tied to gang racketeering investigation, facing federal charges. GloRilla's legal team immediately pushed back, claiming she was being used as a scapegoat, that she had no active role in any illegal operation, and that being in the wrong place with the wrong people shouldn't equal guilt. But prosecutors weren't budging. They said GloRilla wasn't just affiliated, she was connected. That her success was being used to launder reputation and resources for a larger group under investigation since 2019. They painted a picture of a young woman who'd lost control of her image, allowing her inner circle to use her career as a shield for darker dealings. And this is where fans got divided. Some stood by her hard, saying they always try to bring down a strong black woman once she makes it. This is another example of the system trying to attach guilt by association. She was the only real one out. Now they want to lock her up. But others weren't so sure. She knew what she was around. Fame don't erase street ties. The feds don't move without receipts. If she innocent, why so quiet? She'd been dodging this for a year. It finally caught up. So when the trial date was officially set in mid-2024, GloRilla vanished. No performances, no promo. Just occasional IG story reposts and vague tweets like, "Some storms you've got to walk through in silence." Not everyone around you is rooting for your freedom. And that's when her fans got scared. Because silence in the entertainment world means something's coming. And when that sentencing finally arrived last week, the courtroom was full. Reporters, cameras, fans outside the courthouse chanting "Free Glo." But once the judge entered, that room froze. The courtroom was so silent you could hear the chains on the bailiff's boots clink as he walked. This wasn't just a trial. This was the moment the world realized GloRilla wasn't walking away from this clean. The air inside that Tennessee federal courthouse was thick with tension. Media cameras swarming the doors outside, fans holding signs that read, "She's not a criminal. She's a queen." And still, Glo sat stone-faced in a beige jumpsuit with her braids pulled back into a low, no-nonsense ponytail. No glam squad, no lashes, just raw reality. When the judge entered, he gave a long sigh before reading from his notes. And that's when it started. The breakdown of a case that would flip everything fans thought they knew about their favorite ratchet Cinderella upside down. According to prosecutors, GloRilla had been under quiet surveillance since late 2022. The feds claimed she was linked to the Southbound Collective, a Memphis street organization flagged for arms trafficking, identity fraud, and bank scamming. The allegation wasn't that Glo participated directly in the crimes, but that she unknowingly facilitated their operation by allowing her team to use her brand, properties, and tour resources to cover tracks. That unknowingly was key. Her defense team leaned into it hard. They argued that Glo was young, inexperienced, and surrounded by people who didn't have her best interest in mind. That she trusted her manager, her road team, her day ones, too much. But the prosecution had a weapon Glo never saw coming: wiretaps. And when those tapes played in that courtroom, jaws hit the floor. A recorded phone call from one of her former bodyguards, who was caught during a raid in 2023, said, "She don't ask questions. She just signs and shows up. We keep it moving. That's why she's so valuable." Another voice, identified as someone linked to the alleged Southbound crew, says, "Long as Glo keep hitting them stages, the money keep cleaning itself. She, the gold mine." And y'all, the room froze. It didn't matter that GloRilla never pulled a trigger. It didn't matter that she never made a fake check or moved any contraband. What mattered was intent and access, and the feds argued that she gave both. GloRilla's lawyers tried to poke holes in it all. But then came the twist that shattered the courtroom. Her own personal assistant took the stand. A soft-spoken woman named Kira, who had been with Glo since her SoundCloud days, walked up in a navy blazer and trembling hands. People say Glo looked betrayed the moment Kira appeared. Her whole face changed. Why? Because Kira wasn't just her assistant, she was her best friend, her sister figure. Her day-1. And Kira snapped. She testified that during GloRilla's second tour, she became aware that several members of their traveling entourage were using her tour buses and Airbnb rentals to move unregistered firearms, burner phones, and counterfeit bank cards. Kira said, "I begged her to slow down, to ask more questions, but every time I did, she said they got it handled. She didn't want to see it." Then the courtroom gasped because Kira revealed text messages she had saved from 2023. One of them from GloRilla allegedly said, "If anything goes left, I wasn't here. You got me." That message, admissible in court. That tone, interpreted as knowledge and avoidance. Glo's legal team objected. They argued it was taken out of context, possibly even fabricated. But the damage was done. That was all the prosecution needed. The judge looked visibly shaken, not because Glo was some kingpin, but because she let herself be used as a shield for the wrong people. And fans online, divided. Half of social media screamed, "Kira is a snake. She just flipped to save herself. Glo's been framed. They're railroading her. This is just another system move to destroy a powerful black woman." But the other half said, Glo had every chance to walk away. She knew they were dirty and still stayed loyal. That's on her. Don't let fame make you blind. Even queens gotta be accountable. The biggest heartbreak came when GloRilla finally spoke. The judge gave her a chance to make a statement before sentencing. She stood, voice shaking, and said, "Your Honor, I didn't grow up knowing the system. I didn't know how fast you can go from rapping on a porch to being used by people who never had your back. I made mistakes. I trusted wrong, but I didn't hurt nobody. I didn't steal. I didn't shoot. I just wanted to bring my city up. And now I'm sitting here like I brought it down." She started crying. So did her mom in the back row. So did fans watching the live stream on Court TV recaps. But the judge wasn't emotional. He was measured, stern. Final. He said, "Fame does not absolve responsibility. Being used is not the same as being innocent. Ms. Woods, your negligence enabled criminal activity that spanned multiple states with substantial financial gain. That cannot go unpunished." And then it dropped. 5 years, suspended after 18 months served. 3 years probation. Mandatory financial restitution of $2.1 million. And the final blow. No touring allowed during probation. GloRilla collapsed into her seat. Fans outside the courthouse screamed. Some cried. Others stood stunned, back on social media. #GloRilla sentence. And #goodbye forever trended globally within an hour. Fan pages blacked out their profiles in solidarity. And industry voices from Cardi B to Meek Mill started weighing in. This is why artists gotta clean house once they blow up. Keep your circle tight, or the system will use your friends to bury you. And the betrayal. It didn't stop with Kira. Whispers started swirling that another rapper close to GloRilla may have flipped even earlier to protect their own brand. But who and what exactly did they say? Just when the world thought the dust might settle, when fans were processing GloRilla's sentencing, grieving the 18 months of silence ahead, and praying for some kind of redemption arc, the ground split wide open with a shocking betrayal from inside the industry. Because, y'all, guess who allegedly helped the feds piece the case together months ago? A rapper, a friend, a former collaborator. His name, GloRilla. Yep, one of GloRilla's closest industry allies. Someone who rose up with her from the Memphis trenches, shared studio time, and even performed with her on the same stages just 2 summers ago. But according to a newly leaked court document, GloRilla may have cut a cooperation deal months before GloRilla's official indictment and what they allegedly turned over. It wasn't just words. It was texts, financial logs, and even backstage security footage from several tour dates showing who was coming in and out of Glo's private buses. Let that sink in. Somebody she performed with, smiled with, broke bread with, turned over inside. Receipts that ultimately helped prosecutors link her name to the operations. It wasn't the main evidence, but insiders say it connected the dots. And the worst part, GloRilla had no idea. According to one of her backup dancers, who posted anonymously on a Memphis blog after the sentencing, Glo was still texting and FaceTiming Gloss. Up just weeks before the final court date. She didn't see it coming. She kept saying, "At least I got my people rocking with me." She had nitrogen monoxide idea what Gloss was doing behind the scenes. Chilly betrayal hit harder than the sentence itself. Now, let's rewind for a second. GloRilla and GloRilla came from the same city, same lane, same era. Both exploded into fame during Memphis' post-pandemic rap surge. They linked up at showcases, freestyled together on IG Lives, and even filmed TikToks clowning haters together. At one point, fans were begging for a joint tape. But after Glo signed with Yo Gotti's CMG imprint and took off internationally, fans started noticing distance. No more tags, no more posts, no more shoutouts, just silent separation. And now we know why. Allegedly, GloRilla had already been pulled into a separate investigation months prior for PPP fraud and cyber theft tied to her ex. To save her own career, she agreed to testify against other affiliates. And guess who is still loosely connected to those names? GloRilla. The document, posted in part by a gossip account called Memphis Mob T, included a list of witness cooperation acknowledgments, with initials that matched GloRilla's government name and the timing. Perfectly aligned with the timeline of when prosecutors began targeting Glo more aggressively. Y'all, this ain't no rumor. It's a full-blown industry earthquake. Because when fans caught wind of this, all hell broke loose. On Twitter, Glo fed you on, and you flipped. Nah, GloRilla turned into setup. You can't make it in Memphis without the feds showing up, huh? And on Instagram, GloRilla's comments are a war zone. You ain't safe at Rolling Loud. Stay home. Unfollowed, unforgiven, unwelcome. No amount of fake lashes can cover up that snitch energy. GloRilla tried to clap back, posting a cryptic story that read, "Y'all don't know the whole story. Don't speak on what you ain't lived through." But fans weren't having it. "We know enough to cancel you, sweetheart. One thing we don't play with: rats." Meanwhile, GloRilla's cousin posted a now-deleted tweet saying, "Funny how they smiling in your face while emailing the government." But guess what? GloRilla wasn't the only one flipping. Another rapper, this time a male artist, allegedly dropped private tour group chat messages from a 2023 summer run that included suspicious wire transfers and Airbnb bookings. In Glo's name, but used by other people. And guess who that rapper is suspected to be? Finesse 2 times. The same one Glo shared a viral freestyle video with back in 2022. The same one fans thought she might have had a thing with. Yeah, that Finesse. While his name hasn't been confirmed in documents yet, fans noticed that he suddenly deleted photos with GloRilla, unfollowed her, and dropped a weird freestyle about staying 10 toes. even if you know something weeks before her sentencing. The lyrics? Had to keep my record clean, even when my fam was wildin'. I ain't lie, I just ain't stopped them from the violence. Fans said, "Is this your confession track? Finesse really living up to his name. Glo surrounded by nothing but snakes. And with all this betrayal unraveling after she was sentenced, the public outcry reached boiling point. Cardi, one of Glo's biggest supporters, tweeted, "This ain't right. She got used and tossed. Y'all let the wrong ones walk." Free JT from City Girls posted, "Let this be a lesson. Keep your circle tight. The ones smiling ain't always solid." Meanwhile, Yo Gotti remained silent. No tweet, no comment. No defense of his signee. Fans noticed, and the streets whispered. He cutting ties. Glo getting dropped next. And then, Erica Banks slid into the mix, tweeting, "The industry be faker than veneers. Watch who you eat with, huh?" Was she throwing shade at Gloss Up or warning others about finesse? Nobody knew for sure. But the memes, out of control. Gloss Up gave the feds a Dropbox link. Finesse 2 times, but GloRilla got the time. Glo didn't fall, they pushed her. And while the noise grew louder online, GloRilla's team confirmed she would not be appealing. Why? Because the plea deal she took spared her from even worse charges. Charges that would have come from cooperating testimony behind closed doors. She took the hit. She held it down, and now she's gone. But fans ain't done yet, because they're already planning #GloRilla Day marches, fan events, and even a petition to have her sentence reconsidered, all while Gloss and Finesse face their own karma in the court of public opinion and baby. It's ugly after the courtroom doors slammed shut and GloRilla's sentence hit the headlines. The music industry and her fanbase went into full emotional overdrive. This wasn't just another celebrity downfall. It felt like an execution in plain sight. And the internet wasn't having it. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, even Threads, everywhere you turned. The name GloRilla was being shouted, mourned, dissected, and defended. Let's start with the fans. Within 48 hours of her sentencing, the #FreeGloRilla hit over 3 million uses. People were changing their profile pictures to blacked-out versions of her. FNF cover. Art pages started uploading drawings of her behind bars with a crown on her head. Fan pages compiled tribute videos with captions like, "She gave us a summer. We gon' give her a legacy." They can lock her up, but they can't silence her voice. This is deeper than rap. It's a system targeting another self-made queen. But what really caught fire was the petition. A viral Change.org petition titled, "Reconsider GloRilla Sentence." She was used. Not Guilty garnered over 210,000 signatures in just 3 days in the comments. We've seen worse men walk free for worse crimes. GloRilla is being punished for association. That ain't justice. She made it out the mud and got pulled back in because others used her success. This ain't right. It wasn't just fans grieving. It was the music industry too, Cardi B, who had once jumped on a remix with Glo and even mentored her during her first major award show performance. Posted an emotional message. She lit a fire under all of us. She made girls from the hood believe they could go global. I'm sick to my stomach watching her take the fall for other people's dirt. She ended her post with, "Hold your head, sis. We got you out here." Meek Mill, never shy about calling out the system, tweeted, "Another example of talent getting buried in courtrooms while the real criminals sit in suits. Keep fighting. T-City girls. When you rise up too fast, they come harder." It's survival of the shadiest out here. But not everyone was throwing support. Gloss Up, still under intense fire, tried to save face with a now-deleted post that read, "Y'all blaming the wrong one." Don't let your emotions cloud the facts. The post received over 30,000 hate comments. In under an hour before it was taken down, among the top comments, "Facts don't fold. You did. You're a cooperator, not a collaborator. Glo gave you a platform, and you gave her to the feds." Meanwhile, Finesse 2 times kept posting like nothing happened, dropping freestyles, promoting merch, and acting unbothered. But fans, oh, they remembered. Every livestream was bombarded with, "You next. You, a whole redacted testimony. It's giving guilty conscience, bro." Brand reactions were also mixed. Reebok, who had just signed GloRilla to a 6-month campaign deal, quietly pulled her ad from their homepage, but offered no official statement. Spotify added her to their free The Culture playlist, alongside tracks from Meek Mill, NBA YoungBoy, and Kodak Black, a subtle show of support that had fans celebrating. Bet, however, received backlash after reportedly scrubbing a pre-recorded Glo performance from an upcoming special. So, y'all used her face all year, but now she's gone and suddenly she's a ghost. Protect black women only when it's convenient, huh? But the real movement happened on the ground. Across Atlanta, Memphis, and even New York, fans organized #GloRilla solidarity rallies. People showed up wearing orange jumpsuits, holding signs that said, "She saved us, who saved her?" From FNF to FED, we won't forget. This is not justice. This is politics. Some even played her music through loudspeakers while handing out flyers about wrongful associations. The RICO Act, and how artists are often used as pawns in federal investigations. On TikTok, a trend called #IfEgoDownDontBGlo went viral. Creators role-playing as artists warning their teams not to use their name for shady business. "Keep my tour clean. My studio clean. My name off y'all, Lil Side Hustles. I ain't getting glowed." It was viral, yes, but it came from pain, because everyone knew GloRilla wasn't a criminal. She was a target, a tool, and now a lesson. But not everyone stayed quiet. Angela Yee spoke on her radio show. This is what happens when artists don't audit their circle. She wasn't in the streets, but the streets were inside her business. It's heartbreaking, but it's also a warning. And Tasha K, never one to miss a moment, claimed she has exclusive voice messages of a certain Memphis artist begging not to be named in the next indictment. Who? And guess what? As the fanbase continues to scream free Glo, sources close to Glo say she's already writing music behind bars, working on a mixtape titled 18 Months Later. Her cousin posted, "She ain't crying. She writing, just wait." The real Glo, not gone. She just warming up. Just when fans were starting to accept GloRilla's absence. Just when people thought the sentencing was the end of her story, she spoke from behind bars in a surprise voice message posted on her official Instagram account and quickly picked up by every blog in the game. GloRilla's voice came through raw, emotional, and deadly calm. "They tried to silence me. Y'all know I got a bigger voice than they ever expected. I ain't fold, I ain't snitch. I took what came with being too loyal to the wrong ones. But this ain't the end of me. I'm writing every day. I'm watching everything. And trust me, when I come home, I ain't coming back to play with nobody." Boom. The internet exploded. Her voice alone brought chills. No auto-tune, no beat, just pure pain and promise. Cardi B reposted it instantly. She, standing 10 toes. Respect that. Lil Durk posted and AJT wrote, "She don't even need a studio." Her voice still hit hard. But that wasn't all. The caption under the audio post, #18 months later, is already written. Y'all ready to hear what they didn't want me to say? Wait, what? A whole project? Yup. According to a source, close to her management team, GloRilla recorded over 20 tracks before turning herself in, just in case. The project is allegedly titled 18 Months Later. And insiders say it's full of unreleased disses, confessions, and even name drops. And that's not even the final twist, because just one day after that post, breaking news hit the blogs. Subpoena issued for rapper connected to Glow's CASC. Feds want him on record. Who is it? None other than Yo Gotti. Yes, her own label head. The man who signed her to CMG. The one who paraded her across the country. Got her award show slots, festival headliners, and brand deals. Now, the feds want him to testify. An inside court source claims Gotti has been called in to clarify his financial dealings with Glow's team, and whether he had knowledge of the operations running through her touring structure. And y'all, he's been ghost silent. Not a post, not a comment. Not even a "we stand with Glow" statement. This some 6ix9ine-level betrayal. One fan tweeted, "Glow went down, Gotti went hiding. You mean to tell me she took the hit while HE keeps the label running? And now fans are demanding receipts." The top comment under CMG's page: "Free Glow, fire Gotti. You used her voice. Now use yours." Meanwhile, another rapper is teasing that they were left off Glow's secret album and that one of the tracks names The People Who Flipped. On IG Live, a verified artist said, "If she really drops that 18 months later tape from jail, y'all careers might be over." She told the truth on that mic. And baby, the fans are ready. They're making mock covers, sharing unreleased snippets. One user even posted an AI edit of the track list with fake titles like "Fed Up Feet," "Cardi B used and abused gloss," "Ain't Glow," "Yo Silence," "Yo Gotti." And if even half of that is true, the return of GloRilla might be the biggest comeback in rap history. But until then, we wait, we listen, and we remember. Glow ain't gone. She's just loading. Hugh. From viral sensation to prison sentence, from betrayal to bold survival, GloRilla's story is no longer just hip-hop history. It's a whole movement. And now that we've heard her raw voice behind bars, seen the alleged betrayal by Gloss-Up, Finesse 2 times, and even whispers of Yo Gotti, the question that's on everyone's mind is simple: what happens when she gets out? Because, let's be real, if Glow really recorded a full album before going in, and if 18 months later drops the way her team is teasing it, that's not just music. That's revenge. So we want to know what you think. Do you believe Gloss-Up and Finesse 2 times flipped on her for real? Should Yo Gotti make a statement, or is his silence already an answer? And WHEN GloRilla comes back, is she taking the crown or exposing everyone in her path? Drop your comments below. We're reading everything. Smash that like button if your heart is still racing. Subscribe to the channel for the real tea, with no PR spin, no industry filters, and no watered-down gossip. And turn on those notifications, because the moment that 18 months later project drops, we will be here. This isn't the end of GloRilla's story. It's the beginning of a whole new era. Stay watching, stay woke, and most of all, stay loud. Because in the words of Glow herself, "I ain't done. I'm just on pause."